All right, finally, I have something that's at least somewhat machinist related. So I have a whole slew of old warped brake rotors from the Ford probes since I've got so many of them, and it seems like anytime I take one of these cars down to Austin, the first time I hit the brakes from some jackass driver down there, I'm immediately winding up with a warped rotor. So, after a few failed attempts with a completely different setup, this is what I came up with. Basically, just mimicking an actual brake rotor lathe. So before, what I was doing was I would use this with one carbide cutter, doing the face, break this setup down, and then use this with a different, with a brazed carbide insert, doing the backside. And I was getting okay results. I was getting about, what was it, about 2 thou, 1 thou? I can't remember. Anyways, tolerable results, but not what I needed it to be. This, cutting both sides simultaneously, just like an actual brake lathe, is perfect. It's, from what I can tell so far, measuring a few different places, it looks like it's within a 10,000th, a tenth of an, anyways, under a thousandth of an inch, doing it this way. Unfortunately, these rotors are already kind of undersized, under thickness, even before I turned them. But at least now I've got the game plan sorted out so that I can do this in the future. I didn't want to make a permanent setup for anything because I wasn't sure that this was going to work. So what I wound up doing was taking an old brake drum, and I cleaned up the mounting surface on the brake drum, left it mounted on the chuck, and then cleaned up the mounting surface, where the wheel would mount on the brake rotor, and bolted it up to it so that hopefully I have some, well, not concentricity this way, but a perfect coplanar setup here, here, and here. So at any rate, it's been a little bit of a journey. And these are rotors that I did with the previous setup. I can't remember what these ones turned out to be, but I've also got a new set that are on the probe now that are better than what these guys were, but still not perfect. Other than being too thin, this is perfect. So, it's probably been years ago, I tried doing brake rotors on this. I would do one side, flip it, do the other side, and I think I came up with 11 thou of run out doing it that way. So, it's nice to finally have a system that will actually work. And I literally just threw this together. This is the insert holders that I use on the Logan lathe, and just a miscellaneous clamp that came with the planer and a steel bar. So now that I know that this works, in the future I could build an actual U-shaped assembly to do bigger rotors. I can actually turn down something that these brake rotors can mount to that would actually keep, or actually even have the hub riding on it, so it has concentricity as well. But for something that literally took, I don't know, 30 minutes to throw it together, by the time I got done drilling this hole and drilling that hole, I am tickled to death with this. Perfect? No. But perfect by my standards? Absolutely.